Let's bring in Bruce Boudreau now to talk more about Brad Marchand, the Panther. Bruce, being dealt from Boston to Florida, that's one of the shockers of the trade deadline, and it happened late, too. He's finally expected to make his debut with Florida tonight. How big an addition is this to the Panthers?
Well, you know what? I don't know what it's going to be like tonight, but overall, he's still got, 8 games to get back into shape, or 9 games, and it's going to be a huge addition. You talk about putting somebody on your second line that's won a Stanley Cup, that's got 15 years NHL experience, that can play any way you want. I mean, he's a Florida Panther type hockey player where he's gritty. He goes to the front of the net. He plays much bigger than his size, and he can be a pain in the you-know-what. And you add all of those things up, and he can score. He's good on the power play. He's a good penalty killer. I think him and Reinhart on the penalty killing, they'd be more offensive than the other team would have to worry about them a little bit more. So, I mean, I think this guy is going to be a great addition if he's 100% healthy. And I think he will be motivated to be great. And I think, when you think about it, when Tkachuk gets back and he's on the second line, or Tkachuk's first line left wing, Marchand's second line, Verhaeghe third line, that's a pretty imposing top 9 forwards of lines that you can put out there. So big addition, and it's going to really work wonders for Florida.
Of course, you speak from experience, having coached against him for years. Now, he is a little older now, but is still the type of player you talked about that you would need to concentrate on when drawing up a game plan. Is that true?
Yeah, not only is it true, he's a little older, and you can say he's dropped a half a step watching him in the Four Nations, but I don't know if the speed will ever get up to the Four Nations. He looked a little slower than normal. But the thing is, his experience is really going to carry him. And I think he knows when to push the buttons of the other team. He knows when to pull back. He wins battles. I think this guy is going to be perfect for what the way the Florida Panthers play, and is perfect for their dressing room. And I think, like I said earlier, he's so motivated that it can't hurt at all. I mean, I don't see any negatives about Brad Marchand becoming a Florida Panther.
Now, you mentioned Matthew Tkachuk is hurt. Aaron Ekblad suspended. Marchand is finally returning. When this team is finally healthy, do you like their chances of making a deep run again back to the Stanley Cup?
Well, I really do. I mean, the way I was looking at it when the Leafs played these guys about 10 days ago, and Florida won 3-2 without all 3 of those guys. And I mean, you add those guys, they're good fits for pieces of the puzzle. They're not going to come in here, and it's not like Connor McDavid. You're missing the greatest player on the planet, but what you're doing is you're putting a first line guy, playoff guy, a second line playoff type guy, a big defenseman, which you need to win if you're going to win. I think that it's all perfect fits here, and if they can all get in and still be and not have a lot of rust early, then I think it's going to be good. That's why it's great that Marchand's playing now. Hopefully Tkachuk, if you're a Florida fan, comes back with about 4 or 5 games left in the season. And Ekblad, he's going to come back in Game 3 of the playoffs. We all know that. So, boy, they look pretty formidable on paper. We'll see how it all works. I think the chemistry is going to be fine. Brad has been skating with those guys, and he's been down in Florida, so it's not like he's just coming in and it's going to be fresh. He knows who he's playing with and what his team's all about.
And he could make quite a splash in his debut tonight. 23 points in 19 career games against the Utah-Arizona franchise.